Oh, yeah. We're live, I think. Can y'all hear me? Doug, wake up, boy. Love the show. Just so you guys know, there's always a longer front end on these while I'm getting all of the images. I got to do a bunch of stuff on the back of each show before I can launch. There. It's a lot of work. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. So I create the show and then it opens up the feed and you guys are going, where are you? It's always going to take a few minutes before I can come in, sometimes as long as like 15, 20 minutes. And I need to get some views over on my art channel. So I'm simul streaming this to my Doug In Exile political channel and my art channel. And so we're talking about art and politics today. Specifically, I want to reference because Trump is a real inspiration to businesses. And well, let's talk about that real quick. Trump is a great businessman, okay? Even though he just now launched his stock, his Truth Social company, stock blew up huge. He got billions of dollars in 24 hours, which is why I tell you guys, money, and people get mad at me. They go, Doug, you said to Trump, money's nothing. Well, money's something. I'm all, no. Money is nothing, especially to Trump. It's kind of like when you learn how to make money, which Trump knows this, you create a money-making machine. Trump is a money-making machine. Now, what that machine makes is nothing. It's money. You know what I mean? So you can take all of his money away. And that's what Letitia James thought. Letitia James, there's Dennis Gillespie. Hey, buddy, how you doing out there in Hawaii? You can take away his money and he still has the machine. So all the bad guys are going, ha, I got all your money. And that's what I mean by taking his money doesn't matter. That's not how you defeat Donald Trump. You have to take away his ability to make money. That's actually why it was a bigger threat for him to not be able to do business in New York. But Trump will just go to Florida and Texas and open up a business. But the big thing about Trump is he has huge business failures. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today because I'm an artist. And you guys have seen the documentary. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary on me or not. It just released today. There's a huge art documentary that just released today over on Canon Press. It's a 30-minute episode. They go through my entire life work. For those of you who want to see my work, when I work with Steven Spielberg and Universal Studios and DreamWorks with Jeffrey Katzenberg and creating Earthworm Jim for the Genesis. The documentary is about that and about my Christian faith and my right-wing politics and how that destroyed my career in Hollywood and put me in exile. For those of you who want to know about my being in exile and making politics, guys, this was not the first job I had. This is the last job I'll ever have, you know? Jail big Letitia James. That's true also. That could happen. But, you know, we get the ultimate victory if Trump merely becomes president. I'll give you a question. Here's a question for Ja right here. Jail Letitia James. Are you ready for this? You may choose one or the other. You may jail all of Trump's enemies like Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, Chutkin, Jack Smith. And Biden. You may jail his enemies, but he can't be president. Or you can forget about his enemies and Trump becomes president. Which do you choose? Chat right now. Let me know. Which do you choose? This is why I have a revenge streak in me on Biden. Of course, I want him thrown in jail. Of course, I want Letitia James thrown in jail. But the real goal is for Trump to be president. You don't win anything just by, and that's why I don't care about revenge. I don't care really about what happens to Letitia James. I don't care if she takes all of Trump's money, so long as Trump still has a money-making machine. That's why this book is about my art. Guys, I am an art machine. I crank all day. I create, like on this channel. Other channels go, Doug, how do you grow so fast? How do you get your numbers so big? And I simply say, how much time do you spend doing videos? I learned from my dad that a man works and you work full time. So all my art friends would always go, oh, I'm going to make a comic, Doug, and work on it here, work on it there. I always worked on my comic books at least 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. While you guys are having a Saturday, I only have one Sabbath day, and that's Sunday. And every other day I work my butt off. So, and that's what Trump is like. Have you guys seen Trump on the campaign trail? The guy has I think he lives on 4 hours sleep a day. By the way, so does Elon Musk, 4 to 6 hours sleep a day. And they just go. They have endless energy. So that's about an old-fashioned work ethic that I don't think a lot of artists have today. Many of you want to be artists. I hope you'll be artists. I hope you draw all day. It's very different trying to do it for a living, where you have to outbid and be better than and create more than every other artist in the world to keep a job. And so my background has me in animation. Some of you guys have seen this trailer. Let me bring it up again. Again, kill me if you guys are tired of seeing this trailer, but and I often have a very hard time sharing videos and images, that you guys know also. So here we go. You ready? We're going to try this. It's only 2 minutes, guys. So and this is what the link in the description is about. But this is the trailer about the documentary that has that's about my life background. Let me find it here. This is called, there it is. Okay, here we go. Again, give me a thumbs up. Look, to upset like every artist that wants to get into animation and video games right now. Artists are taught that they can pursue this madness, this art, and this expression, and they can get great things. And I got bad news for you. My whole life was made to make goofy characters, cartoons, and monsters. I went home and I drew that first Earthworm Jim drawing. That made history. That's me on People magazine. Gen X's Dr. Seuss, I think I was called. Look at this. This is a McDonald's cat scratch toy. I created the entire Neverhood world and took it to Spielberg's house. And he said, yeah, we can do this game. Who does that?
The Neverhood is a wonderful adventure. It's just great.
I wanted to bring truth, goodness, and beauty into Hollywood through my books and influence the story. Little did I know that is not exactly what happens. My horror came over me when I realized I can't be me and ever work in this town, Hollywood, again. Okay, so that's the Makers documentary. The link is down in the description to join Canon Plus. Canon Plus, these are conservative, independent, family, Christian, but they make documentaries. So they're the first to tell my story. They're the first I ever would allow to tell my story, and I trust them. They did a great job on this episode. Anyways, you can join Canon Plus for 1 month for free on a trial, okay? Now, real men will pay the $11.99 a month, but don't do it if it's going to keep you from doing it. You sign up and you get to see the entire documentary for free. Fans of mine will go to click on Canon Press, Canon Plus, it's Canon Press, Canon Plus, and you'll get to see the documentary. It's ready to go. It just released today. I'm super excited about it. So don't forget to click on that even after this airs. Let's go to the base art department. $5 super chat. Doug, can you unblock me on the Elon platform? Ben Ament, based art department. I'd like to see your stuff in my feed again. I don't know what happened to you, Ben. Sometimes I can people if they show adult material, or if they tweet at me 50 million times, or if they ever are do like pro Comicsgate sham stuff. I just so I don't know. I don't know how to unblock people. I have to go to the section and try to find you. I'll see what I can do. Ben Ament, if I remember that. Okay. Here's Joe Whitlock, $10 super chat. What are my comments from Zeducation doing here? Really? Zeducation? Man, I'd love to hear more on that, Joe Whitlock. That's an interesting super chat. These chats are coming from Mars. Now, I now am launching my comments out to both. Anyway, so now you guys know my background, that I got whacked in Hollywood. And it didn't stop me. Guys, if someone can stop you, you don't deserve to be an artist, okay? You just quit. Trust me, it's too hard. Quit ahead of time. If anything can stop you, then you probably should be stopped. I used to say this to my writing and art students, and they'd hated me. I'd go, if I can get you to quit, I would get you to quit. And if I could get you to quit, you should quit. And then they'd all have to decide, well, what do you mean by that? I go, it just means it's going to be tough. So, and we also have memberships going. Goofyfoot became a YouTube member. I've got a ton of you guys becoming members. This is how you support me at $5.99 a month. That helps out with the channel. We will have Hedia Pilati, $5 super chat. Thank you, Hedia. I appreciate that. So my artists out there, I just want to say, now the reason why I keep bringing up Trump, oh, here it is. Based art department. I follow a lot of CG people. Then you can't be in the based art department. You're an SJW if you follow CG people. So that might have been it. I still don't fully understand. You're leaving and all the feelings. Because they're when I left cancel culture to go into comics, and there's this alleged right-wing conservative comic group, and I joined them, and they were all SJWs, and they were all pro rainbow flag, and they all were angry that I was a Christian Republican, and they were all pro-choicers, and I'm a pro-lifer. So they tried to cancel my company. EVS, the head guy, went and started tweeting to my companies where I created Earthworm Jim and tried to get me to lose that license by bringing up that I was anti-rainbow, anti-same-sex marriage. So that is what a SAW does. So that's why you're blocked. And frankly, that's why you'll remain blocked. There's a lot of fake right-wingers, fake Christians, fake Republicans that'll take your money all day. And that's Comicsgate. They're fake. So, and I have no room for frauds. I've been through the meat grinder, okay? So when these little punks come up and start ripping on me, and by the way, these are same comic groups that started ripping on my other conservative art friends, tore apart their comic projects, their people. And it's not just that. It's also canceling them, getting their YouTube channels canceled. It's doxing them. It's going after their living of putting food in their kids' mouths. I got nothing for CG but contempt. And I laugh at them because they're nothing. They literally help no one, mean nothing. And if you sign up to CG, I tell artists all the time, I go, if you think you need them to win, you just now signed your own death sentence. You just signed your own death of your career, because your career, it proves that you don't have what it takes. It means you're a catcher, not a pitcher in the art world. There's Jenna became a member right there. Thank you for being a member of this channel. You guys really help. It really does help. Sometimes I'm just so exhausted. Like today, I barely was able to edit one video. The other video, I paid my editor, Noah, out in Kansas, did an edit for me. And your membership helps keep the numbers up on this channel. So I was also able to pay him for another one tomorrow. Yeah, there it is. Thomas Roy Loop. Comicsgate's been cancel pigs since the very beginning. Cancel pigs, for those of you guys who need a little help with your vocabulary, they're people who think you don't have a right to eat and you should lose your career. So I just don't deal with those people. I'll deal with a lot of people. I'll deal with Daily Wire. I love The Blaze and my guys over at The Blaze. I might go on Quarter Black Garrett's show over there. I like going on people's show. I like having people on my shows. So I'm wide open with almost everyone. But one thing I will not tolerate is a full-on lying grifter. That just is not in my vocabulary. We got to be principled, and you don't want to be trying to fight a fight against communists only to have them throw a knife in your back. You know what I mean? I'm trying to keep my eyes forward, looking for the enemy, the socialist and the Marxist in my career, and to have to always look at my back, and my side, and who knows where else. Okay. There's the real dog. What's up, Doug? And chat, my man. The real A Dog. Love your channel, guy. And he does a lot of work on me. So we support, I support all the guys. I actually invited Neil Johnson on the show. Originally, I wanted to do it with him because Neil Johnson's also an artist. It's weird. He's a folksy artist. So he paints, he'll paint like on a big wooden plank, a woodpecker. He's one of the guys that can paint on a rusty saw. He builds trucks and all that. But I wanted to talk about some of his work on, because he's a big pro-Trump artist also, and just kind of smaller and more rural. More rural is what I mean. I think he's like almost off the grid. Still miss your sock puppet. Yeah, I kind of miss the sock puppet too. CD 117. Some people don't know here that I started with a sock puppet doing the news because the news was a bunch of sock puppets. So I did a sock puppet. It's down there on my popular videos. I think one of the Carrie Lake ones is still with a sock puppet, which is hilariously embarrassing. Dave, $2 super chat. Always room for grace, Doug. That is true. And also always room to make a fist. Don't be afraid to turn over tables when they're using your father's house for a den of iniquity. It is also a good time to turn over tables. So I was there to reform them. And now I'm ready to, any loser backstabber, SJW, I will burn you to the ground. And I just have no sympathy for you. I really don't. Honestly, I just don't have nothing, because I have, first of all, you're sitting there going through Hollywood where you're fighting truly hardened, satanic, crazy leftists, right? Drug addict crazies. Then you go into crowdfunding and YouTube, and kind of influencer media, and it's a giant war. Eric July and Ethan don't get along. Last night I watched, I don't know if you guys saw this, but over on X, they had a big conversation that Laura and Chen put on about the Candace Owens versus Ben Shapiro fight and the Christ is King thing. And Nick Fuentes showed up and spoke. And Nick Fuentes was very articulate, by the way, even though I tend to oppose him on many of his positions regarding Israel. I totally understand where he's coming from, I think. And Jeremy Boring from Daily Wire came on and talked too. It was one of the most amazing conversations I'd ever heard online. It ended up being kind of about friendship, because Jeremy Boring is a Christian, Ben Shapiro's a Jew, and they're friends. And so Ben's very pro-Israel. And so Jeremy Boring is probably just protecting his friends. It's what we do for our friends. And then Laura Loomer, who's a Jew, said Daily Wire never helped her campaign for Congress. And because she's a Trumpy Jew. And who helped her? Nick Fuentes, who's allegedly this big Christian anti-Semite, Jew hater, Israel hater. So, and she goes, he can do no wrong in my eyes. He was there when I was crying after my thing, and the Daily Wire people weren't there. So I just thought that was very interesting that in the end, friendship shows up between many of these lines, that we draw in the sand. Okay. I thought it was Earthworm Jim, like a gymnasium. Lol, cool workout. Jack says $2 super chat. Yeah, it's been, I hope you're not making fun of me for it being a long time since I've been to the gym. Probably about, I would guess 3 weeks to a month since I've stepped in the gym. Now I did go for a 2-mile walk today, and I picked up trash on the way back. That was my good deed. The beloved Miss Tenaple and I. She went for 3 miles. I turned around and went for 2 because, Cindy Duncan, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Miss Duncan. There's Veritas, 6464. That's an A. What is that for? Armenia? Where's A? I know it's not Canada C. Oh, Australia. I'm sorry. $5 super chat. Thank you. Good day. And he says good day. You'd think I'd figure it out. Good day. Nick Pauly, designing artisan. Put a shrimp on the Barbie. Coober Petty, South Australia. Here in Incorporate Opal. Into my next exhibition. Are you an artist, dude? If that's English, do Australians speak English? Okay. And you guys, you don't got to super chat or anything. We're going to keep this really short. I just wanted to go over the whole Trump wins. He lost his, he did a casino under DJ NFT. Okay. It was one of his casinos in 2008 or 2007 or whatever. And it traded on the stock market. And then it ended up collapsing. He lost that business. He did Trump Steaks, lost that business. Trump University. I don't know if Trump Ties is still in business or not, but he does NFTs. He does sneakers. And now he's doing Truth Social. And he just made billions. He does not quit. And that's my message to artists is do not quit. Those of us who are on the right, who are family men, who are fighting for America first, do not quit. You know, I just think people give up too quickly and are kind of glum and going, nah, I lose. Okay. There's Joe Whitlock, $5 super chat. Still like your channel because questions are never a problem. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. And then here's Veritas6464, Australia, $5 super chat. Feature painting after El Greco, holy cow, of the martyrdom of Saint Sebastian featuring Noah Taylor, Aussie actor. Collab in the future. Cheers, mate. Well, that's very kind of you. I like collaborations. I just don't know anything about you. But, you know, I can always learn. Doing Noah Taylor stuff. Okay. That's Righteous Bruce, $2 Australia. I remember when you had many channels banned. Good time. Yeah, I stack up destruction in my wake. I have a lot of failed businesses behind me, including failed channels. And this one is working out really great. Thanks to you all. We have 4,000 simultaneous watching. We're on a little late, but I like doing it too. Jim Barron became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. It was Based Art Department. How is Ethan doing with his roof problems and house flooding? That was terrible. And that's Ethan Nicole, my buddy. I know he's doing a fundraiser for that. And he is my best bud. And I'm working on other stuff with him on a friendship side of things. But I just love hearing his name. He's one of my best buds. So is Nurkish. And Nurkish, I think, is in the chat there. David A, $2 super chat. Keep up the great work, Doug. Thank you guys so much for your encouragement. Mostly just wanted to check out on you guys and say, you know, that Trump business deal today, everyone was all worried about him having to pay these fines. He made $1 billion overnight. His fines were only $500 million. He could pay that thing in a heartbeat and then just turn the money machine on and make another couple billion. You know, this is not the end of his business run. This is probably the peak period when he goes into his presidency. His brand is going to be worldwide insane, like a Walt Disney almost. There's Big Al. I'd like to see Doug hit 445. Watching just 1,000 more subs. Guys, I only need a few more subs. 445,000 is reasonable. 455,000 is the most subscribers I ever had on YouTube. So we're about to pass that. Hopefully in the next, if I do 1,000 a day, maybe 10 days, if you guys can get me if you guys can subscribe right now, I would sure enjoy that. And I thank you for it. Of course, no one owes me anything. So, you know, here's Viviana Vieira, $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Did you cover already how Letitia James seems to be guilty for what she's blaming for Trump? I have said that before, and I'd love to extrapolate that. I'm pretty sure she is guilty of, I mean, all kinds of financial shenanigans. And, you know, if Trump was in charge of inflating assets, well, she's in charge of inflating his assets too and overcharging him. If he's supposed to be poor and she claims he may not have that much money, then why is she overgouging him? She got this is a massive shutdown for her in New York. That appeal today, they gave Trump another 10 days to pay it. They broke out they also allowed his kids to stay on the board. So they came out, and during the appeal, these are Democrat judges appointed to this appeal court. So they ripped it out of Judge Engoron and ripped it out of Letitia James. It went up to this New York appeal court, and they instantly slashed Trump's appeal from having to pay $450 million down to 100 and something million. It's cheap, $150 million. He's already said he's got the cash. They said, well, what are you going to use for bond? What do you use for collateral? He goes, oh, I'm going to use cash. I'll pay for it. So, and remember, he just needs to be president and he can clean all this up. That's what they're really afraid of, Viviana, is this is what I despise about leftists and SJW, social justice warriors and Marxists, is they try to stop your free speech. They try to stop you from conducting your business. They tried to stop me from making art, whatever art I wanted to make. They want to stop you from practicing your faith. If you want to preach Jesus on the streets, they want to stop you. They want to make it illegal for you to protest certain clinics, if you know what I mean. They want to favor and jam down your kids' throats the rainbow. They bring it into public schools. You'll see it everywhere now. Like the rainbow is just huge. And they want to make it all, they're going to push it all. They don't care what you think. They don't care about your voice. They don't care about your personal creed or religion or background. They only care about skin color, victimhood, and manipulating you. And they are terrified of Christians, any people of faith. They're terrified of Christians, especially because I already have a Lord. So my government is not my Lord. Okay. My government is great in America, but government's not God. So Marxists always see a religion as a threat to their ultimate power. Look, it's Corrine B. Stolt, $5 super chat. Do not quit. Learn a lesson from your son, from your failures, to keep going. That way is then, and this is now. Thank you so much, Corrine. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, I agree with you. Do not quit. Look, it's Reagan. It's good to see you live. It's good to see you live, buddy. Now, Reagan is a fellow comic book artist, another guy who I've known. Man, he was on one of my first websites back in mid 2000s, like 2004, 2005. I had a website, and he was in the chat in a forum, a private forum, and me and my Christian art buddies kind of hang out. That's actually back before he was a Christian. Back before he went and became a Marine, an artist in the Marines, then got out, got PTSD, tried medicating it with acid, and then got off acid. Okay. But we all have a journey. Reagan's is just fascinating. That's all. Sarah Lou, $20. One of my great members. Thank you, Sarah Lou, for being a member of the Doug Club. So glad to see you back doing lives. I love seeing your personality shine through. Thank you so much, Sarah Lou. And actually, sometimes it's very difficult to do lives. I only did one today because I came up so short in my videos that I go, you know what? I'm going to go live just as a bonus. And we're going to wrap this up in just a couple minutes. I stand with Doug, even if he stands over 6'2", me. I'm 6'8", Reagan, $2 super chat. And I hang out with him in San Diego. Reagan is a citrus farmer in San Diego. So he's also an artist and a killer. He does Twitch streaming. $1 super chat. Yeah, all my friends. I tend to like farmers. Okay, I like farmers a lot. I don't hang out with many artists. I hang out with farmers. Adriano Valentino, Australia, a $10 super chat. Doug, sorry to say, but Ben Shapiro is a never Trumper, Trump-hating a-hole. Now, I don't believe that, Adriano. I'll let you say your piece first, okay? I don't believe he's a never Trumper. I believe he is going to vote for Trump. So that's the first point, just coming out the gate. I hear you that he's reluctant. I can't stand him. He thinks he's always right. He thinks he's better and above everyone else. Guys like him are the problem. Okay. In defense of Ben Shapiro, I never thought I'd say that. Number one, he thinks he's always right because he actually is almost always right. Wrong about Jesus, I'll tell you that much, but he really is. Now, I've known him since he was the first day that they launched him in LA back in probably 2008 or 9 when he got out of college and he wrote his first book. I was introduced to him by Andrew Breitbart, and I don't think Ben Shapiro knows who I am, but I've known who he was ever since that day. So he is an incredibly impressive mind. And maybe he is a little, I don't know. I don't watch his show that often. So I'm saying he's not my cup of tea. I always liked his radio show back. He was on KKLA. I used to listen to him in LA all the time on the morning commute. He thinks he's always right. He thinks he's better and above everyone else. I don't know about above everyone else. I don't know. Guys like him are the problem. I really don't see how he's the problem. I don't know. I know there's a lot of Shapiro hatred out there. I just think of the guys at my church that he employs. He employs a lot of my friends. So, but you know, he's going to be wrong on a lot of things. And the criticism last night about him, by the way, Adriano, you might be interested in this. One of the criticism last night about Jeremy Boring is people were saying, you run your company like you're Israel first. And so that's kind of, you know, I don't want to get into that conversation too much, but I mean, there's a lot of anti-Semitism. Some of it is utterly, I mean, some of it's just so hostile and crazy. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I know the other thing is, you know, I go to my Jew friends and everything's the blacks. Why are the blacks ruining everything? Then you go to the blacks and the blacks are going, the Jews. Why are all the Jews in charge of everything? And I'm just going like, it's just, that's something I've noticed among my friends is, man, I don't know. That's probably very white of me to say. It's terrible. Okay, I'm going to get into trouble. See, I'm already in trouble. Now I'm going to get my channel canceled just for speaking my mind. But it's a weird observation. And I really think we should ignore a lot of ethnicity. The Jews have a problem in that they have their religion tied to a land structure. You know, that's their old covenant. And I'm a new covenant. So I don't know if I'm a dispensationalist anymore. Norman Smith, $5 super chat. I am a MAGA artist. Yes. Look at him with his electric guitar and fire and lightning coming off his head. I'm a MAGA artist. I have a Trump 2024 song on my channel. What's your channel? Is it Norman Smith? It's probably Norman Smith here on YouTube. So he's got a Trump song. It's probably got great metal. I'd love to hear that. Here's Unknown Moses, $2 super chat. Trump needs to sue E. Jean Carroll for defamation. That's right. No, he needs to sue the judge, Kaplan, who said Trump was a R when it was not literally decided in court that Trump was not guilty of R. Okay. That's the one. And he's going to get George Stephanopoulos. You guys already saw that video too. Go back in the feed where Trump suing George Stephanopoulos in ABC. There's Adriano Trump hating a-hole. I can't stand him. He thinks he's always right. He thinks he's better and above everyone else. Guys like him. Oh no, you already said that one. Okay. I hope you guys aren't double paying. You just made a 72-year-old happy to see you live. Robert John, $2 super chat. Hello to my 72-year-olds, my slightly older brothers out there. You're my people. I love people. I'm just trying to get through these super chats. Rob Edinger, $5 super chat. Are all artists super tall? How is Ed? I miss his Exile show. Yeah, Rod, my son Ed, he just goes, Dad, YouTube isn't for me. He's a biologist in college, so taking biology classes and going out in the forests and measuring streams and whatever biology they do. Michael P, $10 super chat. Doug, thank you for your honest info. We need people like you. I'm trying to keep it honest. I'm trying to keep it real. I do a lot of research and I just bring you what I find. That's all. And I try and bring you a lot of different things, focusing on being an expert on a few subjects that I think are the most important. Sam O, $1 super chat. Thank you, Sam. Look, there's a new member. My Wayne Peterson. Thank you. Anyways, I hope you guys got that final message that I went through just now. Andrew Fay, $5 super chat, is not to quit. Mature Patriot Machining, $10 super chat. Thank you, Mature. There's Adriano, Valentino Australia, $10 Australia, true Doug, but he doesn't like Trump at all. That's true, but you don't have to like Trump. I just want his vote. Guy, very unlikely he'll vote Trump. He's never talked a good word. Well, I know he doesn't like Trump, but you know, look, Elon Musk has only voted Democrat his whole life, and I think he's going to pull the trigger on Trump this year. He's been tweeting about it. So same thing with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, liberal. That's all they do is they're lazy. They vote liberal. So the idea that he comes around a little bit. Look, it's Neil Johnson on the phone again. Every time I'm doing this, Neil Johnson, you're live on the air. Live on the air.
Okay, shoot me a link. I can jump on in about 10 minutes.
No, I got to jump. It's already, my show's over. But this is going to be our little experiment. There's 4,700 people simultaneously watching the chat. You have a message for him, Neil Johnson?
Trump's going to win and Joe Biden's going down. And the other thing is, so is Eric Swalwell. I just did a video on it. The guy's going to get a class action lawsuit.
Oh, good. Eric Swalwell. We're going to get that. And that's over on Neil Johnson right here on YouTube. Many of you guys already watch his channel. We'll get over there right after I wrap the show. All right, I'm going to jump. I'll talk to you later, Neil. That's Neil Johnson and I. He's an artist. I'll have him on the show. I swear, I'll get him on the show. We intend to do a show. Just one episode. I want to talk about his art because I don't think any of you have ever seen it or heard of it. I want to talk about it. Okay. $2 John S. Didn't Ben recently endorse and fundraise Trump? I think so. That's what I mean is I think, Valentino, I think you're behind on the news. I think he's pro-Trump. So, and I know a lot of those guys. I'm just saying, dude, be careful what you read and what you hear on the internet. There's a lot of there's people that just hate Ben Shapiro because he's Jewish. They hate him because maybe he's a little more center-right and not just bury the needle crazy, right? I mean, the things people say about him is just insane. I know him, and I'm telling you, he's not the things that people, I just don't get where it comes from. I assume, I don't know. Here's Basil Beshkov, $20 super chat. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what your country can do for Ukraine. That's terrible. Our country does a lot for Ukraine, I think is the message, right? Oh, man. Andrew Fay, $5 super chat. Did you read Propaganda by Edward Bernays? I did not. The Democrats seem to use all of Bernays' teachings to control the narrative. Now, that is true. I have read, it was always Rules for Radicals was the Alinsky book that Andrew Breitbart always got me hooked on that one. Here's Stony Grimes, $2 super sticker. I'm just going to pass through a lot of these. I got to wrap this up, guys. Hector Reason, 86, $5 super chat. It almost sounds like a Hectoroid. I'm not going anywhere, guys, so stick around. Hold on. Conservatives are socialists too. They're just going at the speed limit. MM. Is that Michael Medved? What? Left and right wing is a false dichotomy. You're both authoritarian. I don't know if I believe that. I'm not sure why. See, authoritarian is how you act. Okay. So the question is, how does a leftist get the left agenda done? Is he likely to use his emotions to raise up an authoritarian structure to force it? And then there's a conservative, okay, or that's the right. A conservative wants to conserve the things in the past that worked: tradition, family, work ethic, old-fashioned things. Well, and what's he willing to do to hold on that? Does he erect an authoritarian government to dictate it? That's the difference. That's why they can be. It's not a false dichotomy. It's a true dichotomy. They really are different than each other. So, but I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. And anytime you guys want to do philosophy, load it up in the chat, super chat it, and I'll address it. I'll do my best with it. Remember, I'm a barely literate comic book artist. Okay. Richard Everett, $10 super chat. Shapiro does not sit on a fence, and that's good. He brings discussion to the discussion. I agree. And the other guys, I love Michael Knowles. I love Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh has done important things in my state of Tennessee on stopping, the trends, stopping giving puberty blockers to kids. Here's Annie Mae Tie-Dye, $5 super chat. Galatians 3:28. Holy moly, that's a good one. Now, I just memorized Galatians 5:28, that for the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness. Against such things there is no law. I'm trying. I'm getting there. I got it right here. See? I got to rememorize Galatians 2:22-25. We'll get there. I'm old. I can't memorize my own phone number. right? All right, let's I think we're down to the end here because I got to wrap it up. I think dinner's almost ready. The Blood Mist Temple and I did pick up a giant, like sombrero shaped wreath off the trail when I took it home. So we always try and bring some trash out of the farmland, and the cows look at us and we moo at them and they follow me around. Okay, Basil Beshkov, $20 super chat. My brain doesn't need washing. That's why I'm watching you. That's right. This is not where you go to get brainwashed. This is actually where, if anything, you guys are allowed to make fun of what I believe. You're allowed to question it. You're allowed to say, this is what I think. That's a discussion. If everyone has to agree with me, that's a sickness. And then if I take my audience and sick you on another audience, that's what happens in crowdfunding comics, and we don't do that. Okay. Adriano, Valentino, Australia, $2. Super chat. What does Neil Johnson think of Let's Go Brandon? I don't know. I tend, we do talk about politics. We actually talk a lot about YouTubing is kind of the thing where we encourage each other and, chat each other up. Joseph M. Orost, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you, Joseph. That's another musician I see in the chat. If that is your, look, there's Mike Miller. Okay, I'm here. Start over. Mike Miller, San Diego, one of my favorite conservative Christian artists, is out there also. Mike Miller at Blacklist Universe. Now, he's my guy. We talk a lot about comics and art and NFTs and Bitcoin and crypto. So it's useful to have friends that have different jobs. So they make my life richer and different. And his family and ours, we hang out with each other when I go to San Diego. That's where I started. Madam Von Kook, $10 super chat. Most artists are liberals. That's true. Most people are shocked when I tell them I'm a Christian and Republican. It's true, madam. I would also be, when I hear Christians and conservatives and Republicans in the arts, I go, what? Okay. You are such an inspiration, Doug. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you so much. Madam Von Kook. Yeah, it is weird because that's another thing. It's actually made me a much better conservative, madam, because I think you might be able to relate to this a little bit also. If you traipse and hang out with artists, okay, you are surrounded by liberals, leftists, psychos, atheists, sexual deviants, crazies, pro-choicers, gays. And I don't mean just that they're all evil or anything. I just mean that they're the people, culturally, they tend not to stick to what mom and dad and tradition want them to do. Artists, we think outside of the box. So I am always exposed, completely saturated in the most insane Marxist, atheist, Christian haters my whole life in the art department. So it's normal for me to be around them. It's normal for me to hear their arguments, to argue with them, to listen to what motivates them, what hurts them, what makes them happy, what they're after, what they're wrong about. So I have, when Von Kook, we have a lot more knowledge than conservatives that just go to church and sit on a farm and hang out with only conservatives. And if anyone, shows up with a funny looking hat, they go, you ain't one of us. We don't hang out with your type. Now that's rare. I don't want to be stereotypical because a honky tonk over here and everyone does everything. And we love everyone over there. Okay. But I'm only saying the art department. I've been exposed to the left, and there's many liberals that have never been exposed to what Von Kook and I believe, like that the Bible is true, that there's a God, that families are important, the Republican, that you don't raise the minimum wage to create jobs. It's how you destroy an economy and all that. Those things. We have been exposed and therefore vaccinated by the other side, by democracy. I got to be careful even using that word on this channel. Holy moly. I think this thing might disappear overnight. Basil Beshkov, $20 super chat. Follow the humor will bring you to the truth. Yeah, it's true. Well, life is funny. It really is hilarious. I don't want to celebrate my sin in any way, but like the things that are wrong with me are often the most tragic, funny things I can think of. It makes, because people are absurd when you get into them. People are hilarious. My wife, you know, she's very serious, the beloved Miss Tenaple, but you know, the things that trouble her and keep her up and things, it's just kind of funny. You know, it's just kind of like life is a tragedy. There's my Bitcoin. Oh, I don't even know how much Bitcoin I own anymore. I don't know if I even have any. I have a little bit. I have a little bit, little something, something. Mike Miller, Blacklist Universe. Most artists are liberals because they already tend to live in a made-up fantasy world, like one where socialism works. That is well said. And on that happy note, we're going to close this show up. Guys, this has been Doug in Exile. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Just hanging with me. I hope we can be buds and just kind of be online buds. I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to talk. I am thrilled that I have 4,300 of you watching. I just think that's amazing. LP, $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, love this. I didn't know you were doing live chats. How do I get notified? That I don't. Oh, you have to ring the bell on the channel. I think we'll get you a notification when I go live. Ring the bell. So you got to subscribe, ring the bell. But this is, you know, the live stream over on my art channel isn't something I normally do. Okay. So this is also being simul-fed to the art channel just because I need to bump up my hours to maintain monetization over there. So you guys are helping watch it over there too. I'm Doug in Exile. God bless you all.